Hello and welcome to One Cool Thing. This is PC Mag's daily live show on Facebook where we show you one cool thing which we're testing in the PC Mag labs. And then if you're watching this later on YouTube, hello to you too as well. Join us on Facebook at 10 a.m. every weekday so that you can participate in the discussion and offer us questions, and we'll answer the questions, give you our opinions, and tell you what we think about these things. But for today,
Yes.
I'm Sasha Segan. This is Victoria's Song. We have Zach taking the Facebook folks' comments and questions. What do we have here? What's our one cool thing for the day?
We have the QardioBase 2, which is a smart scale. It's connected and it's smart and it tells you things about your body.
And this is it's smiling right now. Can you Facebook folks see that? Can you see the smile? It might be a little bit dim, but it's...
Because the lights in here are really bright.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Well, this is like one of the interesting features about the QardioBase is that it's a little friendly. It has smileys, and depending on how you feel about losing weight and seeing the numbers and all of that, you don't have to see your weight in numbers. You can see your weight progress in smileys.
So wait, so how many smileys would equal what? I don't understand how smileys and your weight progress would be connected.
So the QardioBase 2 has a bunch of modes. It has 4 modes total. There's the normal mode, in which you'll see your weight, your body fat percentage, and your name pop up when you step on the scale. There's a weight-only mode, which disables the bioimpedance signal, which is for people with implanted medical devices like pacemakers. Because you don't want an electrical signal going through you and like shorting out your pacemaker, and then, oh, it's only because you tried to weigh yourself.
So there's like a case where you could like step on one of these smart scales and like have a heart attack and die?
Kind of. Well, like it's just not. It's not recommended for people with pacemakers or other implanted medical devices. It could screw with your device, which helps you live happy. And then there's the mode I'm talking about now, where you only see smileys, is called the smart feedback mode. So, you know, sometimes you are trying to lose weight and you get on a scale and you see that you've lost like 0.01 pound and you feel incredibly disheartened. So you put in a goal weight in the cardio app, and then when you step on the scale, it'll either give you a smiley to show that you are continuing to lose weight, a frowny face saying that maybe you've had one too many donuts. Me, it's always frowning at me.
Is it always donuts?
I have a very big weakness for donuts.
Okay, yeah,
I really like donuts.
I had a pumpkin muffin for breakfast. I'm not arguing.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
And then, or like a neutral face to show you that, you know, you're not gaining or losing. But your actual weight and your body composition will still be stored on your phone. You just don't have to look at it on device.
So now let's talk about the syncing situation. That syncing feeling.
That sinking feeling.
Yeah. So this syncs up with, does it sync up with its own app? Does it sync up with other health apps? Can you make it part of a bigger health app picture?
So it syncs with its own app, the Cardio app, and Cardio also has other kind of devices that this app acts as a hub for. It doesn't really, like if you're using a Fitbit, it's not going to send your info to your Fitbit app. So it's just kind of like a separate app that you have on top of those things. But that being said, it measures a lot compared to other smart scales, and you know the price kind of reflects that. It's $150, which is pricey for a scale.
Like you can get a scale at Bed Bath & Beyond for $20.
Yes, but what do you get with that? You get your weight, you get your BMI, you get your bone mass, you get your water percentage, you get your body fat percentage, you get your muscle mass.
How does it know your muscle mass?
So the signal will go through your feet and through your body, and the way that it reflects back down through your feet kind of indicates what percentage of your flesh tissue is what.
So like if you're and this
That's a very crude explanation.
This is actually really interesting because it's interesting involving various exercise programs that people go through. I know that, for instance, if you lift weights, you don't necessarily lose weight, but your body converts more to muscle, right? So that's what your goal would be.
Yeah, and it's kind of a way to view that. Water is another interesting metric because when you drink a lot of water, whether you're weighing yourself at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, if you drink a lot, like I do, and you step at the bottom at the end of the day, you may weigh more than when you wake up in the morning.
Do you use a smart bottle?
I do right now.
What's your smart bottle?
I am testing out the Bella Beat Spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may hear about that as a cool thing later.
We may indeed. But yeah, so this is another interesting thing that the QardioBase does is that you get haptic feedback. So one of the things that's really kind of funny when you get on a digital scale is that you don't realize how long they take compared to a normal scale with like no smarts, like a dumb scale. You get a scale and you're like, meh, meh. Okay, that's depressing, and then you get off and go about your day. This and other scales, you kind of have to sit there or like just wait there as it reads what your body fat percentage is. But this, you can just like kind of doze off or whatever, and it'll buzz, it'll vibrate, and then you know that you're done, and then it's great.
Now, are there weight or age limits for using this?
So weight limits, I believe that it's from 10 to 396 pounds.
Okay.
So if you are over that range,
if you're a very large
person,
you might need a different scale.
You might need a different scale. If you are under that, you are possibly a tiny dog.
Yes.
So for most general population people, this should be able to handle your weight.
Or like mid-sized circus animals.
Mid-sized circus animals.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I don't know whether you can measure the body fat of a mid-sized circus animal.
Because it's tuned to humans.
Yes. Oh, another thing it does is that it supports multiple users. So it'll support up in your household. When you step on it, it'll automatically recognize you, and if it doesn't recognize you, it'll just log you as a guest.
Now, is that because the algorithms have different ways of analyzing people based on gender and age and height, or is it just to keep people's data over time segregated?
Sort of something like that, because if you are generally with scales like this where they support multiple users, if you are very close in weight, it can have a hard time differentiating you.
Okay.
I didn't really have that problem. My roommate and I, we are a solid 40 pounds apart, so it was able to tell us apart pretty easily.
Okay. So any questions out there about anything, health devices, wearables, phones, tablets?
Is there a budget alternative for this?
Yeah, there are alternatives for this. It depends on what you want in your scale. If you just want BMI and weight and you don't care about fancy body breakdowns, Nokia actually has the Nokia Body Smart Scale. That's about $60. It's Wi-Fi connected, like this one. And you get the basics. The app is a little cluttered, but overall it does a good job with like weighing you. And once you get 8 readings in there, you can see a little chart pop up, and it also tells you the weather. So I guess you've done your shower, because this is my shower motion, and you step on the scale and you're like, I have no idea what to wear today. Your scale will tell you.
Yeah, I guess the point is like the scale is where you go between the shower and the dressing room.
Yeah.
So that actually makes sense. By the way, viewers out there, in a few minutes I am going to step on this scale. If you want to try to guess my weight in the comments, please do. Zach can read out some of the guesses, and I'm curious to see whether, does the camera add 10 pounds? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the other thing about this one that I do like is that it has a rechargeable battery. A lot of these scales will require somewhere between 2 and 4 AA batteries that last a very long time, but eventually you'll step on the scale one morning and you're like, oh crud. This is actually...
And then you keep going, then you keep forgetting to go to Walgreens for batteries.
Exactly.
Yes.
This comes with a micro USB cable, which you just plug into the little port here, and one charge lasts you about a year. So
oh, that's nice.
If you lose your micro USB cable, chances are you already have a different one. So
now you said Cardio has other. They have other quantified self devices
like
out there.
Blood pressure.
Do they sync up well together? Like, should you be buying these as a suite?
Ideally, in general with health devices, I think if you have products that work together, you're just going to get a better experience from it. Right now, I'm testing Fitbit's Aria 2 scale, and I wear a Fitbit, so it's all centralized into one app, and that makes it really easy, especially when you're adding different users. If you have other devices from Cardio, it makes sense to have the scale anyway, because you just have to go to one app. It's a one-stop shop. And just from a user experience point, that's really great. The cardio app itself is extremely good and well designed, so you're not going to be like wondering where your data or information is like some other smart home device apps, which are not easy to navigate.
I have that problem in S Health, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samsung S Health, I have that issue. Looks like we might have some questions out there.
Isn't BMI not a valid health indicator anymore?
Very wise. So BMI is, you shouldn't like put too much into your BMI, especially if you're an athlete. If you're super bulky, your weight might be up, and it might tell you that you are obese. Like my BMI says that I am obese. I don't know if I look it, but my BMI says so.
Victoria's not obese.
My doctor says my bones are extremely heavy. So
oh, you're like made of like neutron star material or
kind
something.
of. I'm very dense and compact. In any case,
Can you like punch through a wall because of your extra dense skeletal structure?
I can punch through the patriarchy. That's what I can punch through. Anyway. So yeah, no, BMI isn't necessarily the most accurate thing, but it can give you a picture of where you stand on in like a spectrum of things. And if you're not an athlete and you're not training hard and you don't have a medical thing like super dense heavy bones that you're aware of, it can just give you a snapshot picture. It shouldn't be taken alone, but part of a greater context of things.
Let's get another question.
So someone's guessing that your weight's 140, and then someone else is guessing 175 based on the assumption that you're 5'8". Like they were asking what your height.
Ah, okay. So yeah, so first of all, I guess the camera makes me look taller. I'm 5'6", I'm short.
I'm 5'3", I'm also short.
When Dan is on, I look like a ridiculous hobbit because I'm like 8 inches shorter than he is. But yeah, so I'm 5'6". You can add that to your guesses and let me step on this thing and let's see what it does.
Yeah.
I wish we had the other camera because that way we could put it on the screen. But I'll tell you all what happens when I step on this scale. So I put it down. Do we need to do anything to start it up or calibrate it or anything like that?
No. When you get it yourself, you will just go into the app and it'll prompt you for setup. Setup is extremely easy and it's like a guide through, but it can tell different people apart. So if I were to step on it, it would be able to tell it was me.
Okay.
If my roommate were to step on it, they'd be able to tell it was my roommate. And when you step on it, we haven't set you up, but it'll be able to tell that you're not either
Okay,
of
I'm
us.
stepping on it. It vibrates slightly. It smiles. And it says Victoria, her roommate's name, or guest, and I'm guest. Let's take another question while it's warming up.
So the person that said 175 revised their guess to 165 based on your height.
Okay, good call there. Okay, so now it just says Victoria, your roommate, and guest. Do I need to step off and then on again?
Yeah,
okay.
So step off.
So step off.
You are guest.
Guest is working.
No,
no, I'm not Victoria.
No, you're not me. You're not me.
I'm not your roommate.
You're not my roommate.
Now, okay, back on.
So this can be a little finicky when you don't have someone who's actually registered in the system. And that brings me to one of the potential cons with...
now it thinks I'm Victoria again. Live demo, come on.
You know, a lot of our products get stage fright. But one of the cons that I found with the QardioBase is that, oh, there you go.
There we go.
One of the things that I found was that because in the app you can claim weights, there is a chance and possibility that you'll be able to see the weight of your family members. So
Wait, you can claim weights? Like you can say, you know, 150 is mine. No one else can be 150. I don't understand what that means.
Basically, so you're in the app. You may have had certain readings, and like now, you may have had, the scale might have gotten a little confused because people are close together in weight, or it's seeing a new person for the first time, and you want to track your metrics. So you go into the history section of the app, and you can go to a particular menu where you can see all the readings that the scale has done, and you can see who weighs what. So you may not necessarily want that in your scale.
Let's take one more comment.
So without the app, is this basically useless?
Well, that's a great existential question for this particular product category. Kind of. Like, it'll still be able to tell your weight, but you actually can't set this up without the app. So yeah, it is kind of useless. You'll be able to stand on it and it'll tell you like how much you weigh, but then you might as well just spend a $20 for a $20 dumb scale or something like that. The whole point is that you're tracking your metrics.
The whole point is that you are currently capturing all of my data in your phone.
Yes, I have your weight data and your whole body breakdown composition in my phone.
Great. My entire body chemistry is now in Victoria's phone. And the answer, by the way, is so one more question for you before I give the results from the scale. Consistency and accuracy. How is it?
Consistency is pretty good. So the thing about scales is that when I test them for quote unquote accuracy, like I have 3 scales at home. I have a regular one. I generally test multiple smart scales against each other, and they'll be off by about somewhere between to half a pound to a pound. But day to day, they are consistently off by the same amount. So this is a consistently accurate scale for itself. So as long as they're consistently off from each other, you can generally trust that it'll tell you how off you are. And every scale is calibrated differently and will weigh you slightly differently, but the difference is about a pound or 2. So it doesn't, as long as it's consistently measuring you, you're fine.
Okay, any more guesses? Okay, the answer, so the smart scale tells me I weigh 141, which I think is, like, that is within like 2 or 3 pounds of what I get on other scales. So it seems pretty, seems pretty accurate.
Yeah, it also weighs me within 1 or 2 pounds of what I expect from a scale, even though I wish it would be about 20 pounds less.
That's the magic wishing scale. That's
the
like
magic wishing scale.
the Meitu face filter of scales.
Yeah, like just tell it. You know, I kind of like it. So I set my. I'm not telling anybody how much I weigh. 'Cause that's my business. But I set this one to tell me.
Is it going to tell you in smileys?
Oh no, it's got a Wi-Fi error.
It tells you Wi-Fi error.
Yeah, it tells you Wi-Fi error. The Wi-Fi in the labs is like, then it smiles.
Yeah.
But I don't count that against the scale because the Wi-Fi in here is super.
Yeah, super busy and confusing.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're going to see what happens now. It is
oh,
weighing
no,
Victoria.
It told me my weight.
And it told her weight, which I didn't look at.
Which is normally what it is, like, again, syncing issues in the studio. Overall, I'm very happy.
It should tell you smiley faces.
It should tell me smiley faces. Or if you're pregnant, you can track your pre-pregnancy weight when you got pregnant. What your weight is, it'll just show you smiley faces or not smiley faces when you do weigh, and then help you get down to your pre-pregnancy weight after that.
So let's pick that back up and put that up here. Any more questions? Okay, great. So this has been the QardioBase 2.
It's our new editor's choice.
It's our editor's choice for smart scales. If you're watching us on Facebook, please come back at 10 a.m. tomorrow for another One Cool Thing. If you're watching us on YouTube, consider heading over to our Facebook page at 10 a.m. on a weekday, or subscribe to our YouTube page here, and you'll see the playbacks of One Cool Thing every day. Thanks a lot. This has been One Cool Thing from PCMag.com.
Oh, we switched sides.
Yeah.